What's up guys, David Wanted 797 here, back with another video. Today I'm reviewing the Trak Racer TR80s sim rig, which I've spec'd out with the recline seat, seat slider option, PC shelf, button box and a small headphone mount. Let's get into it. Starting out with the design and assembly. Out of the box, this thing can feel a little overwhelming. When you're handed multiple bags containing over 100 nuts and bolts and different washers, it's easy to feel a little bit lost. That said, the instructions are pretty decent overall. There are a few small mistakes here and there, mainly in the photos and the different bolt callouts, like this one. Pause the video and see if you can spot the mistake. We'll come back to the answer later. I'm assuming the design has gone through a few iterations and the instructions haven't caught up yet. After a few pages though, you get the gist of it and it starts to feel like the biggest Lego set you've ever built. Some parts are more difficult to build than others. The TV mount was tricky to keep square. The seat slider was especially frustrating. It's only held in place by inward pressure from the seat rails, so keeping everything straight while tightening bolts is honestly something reserved for those in the deepest circle of hell. Moving over to the quality and stability, once this thing is assembled, it's solid and heavy. Moving it around as one person takes some serious effort, but that weight translates into confidence. There's zero flex. Even under hard driving or rally gaming, which can generate a lot of wheel force, this thing is not going to move. You really don't have to worry about rigidity at all. The seat itself is wrapped in a faux leather on the sides with racing fabric in the center. I don't know what else to call that fabric. Personally, I prefer the fabric over the leather. We all know this type of leather over a long time doesn't hold up too well. The recline mechanism and the seat slider are fantastic, and despite their setup, they are my favorite part of this whole rig. It's very easy to customize, move yourself back and forward, especially when you're someone at 6 foot tall. You can also allow other people to use your rig without having to get out tools. My only real comfort issues with this thing is the single monitor mount, and my 32-inch TV feels very close to my face. And even with the monitor pushed back as far as possible, it's still quite close. While adjusting it did manage to scratch the frame slightly, adjusting anything on this thing is a bit of a pain. When I first set everything up, it didn't feel level. Using the included spirit level, I figured out both the TV and wheel were slightly off. My solution was loosening bolts just enough and gently tapping the frame with a mallet while checking the level in between. It worked, but it's not ideal. Some alignment markings in key areas will go a long way to making leveling a bit easier during building it itself. One more thing worth mentioning is that the T598 does encroach on the TV's display space, meaning the monitor needs to be mounted higher. This can make it feel like you're looking upward. Now, I've added a small seat pad for long sessions that also combats this. While this isn't a takeaway from the rig itself, it's just something to consider if you use a T598. All up, I spent 1,333 Australian dollars during Trak Racer's Black Friday sale. Now that includes the frame, the seat slider, a PC shelf, a button box, which I'll use later, headphone hook and shipping. At this price, the TR80 offers a great value. Compared to other brands, prices can quickly climb into the multiple thousands for what at its core is the same thing, a metal frame held together by bolts. So wrapping up the pros and cons. On the plus side, we've got excellent value for money, a full sim rig with multiple seating options without spending thousands of dollars. We've got a compact footprint. Despite looking big, this thing is thinking vertically and doesn't stretch out far into the room like my previous chair and other Formula style chairs. And it's rock solid. There's no flex under hard driving at all. Moving over to some of the downsides. Cheap plastic parts. One of my plastic edge caps came snapped out of the box. These are important since extrusion can be sharp, but the plastic feels brittle and low quality. The corner bracket covers are basically useless. They hold themselves in so loosely that knocked during setup, they just fall out. Eventually, I gave up and just removed them altogether. The rig is easily scratched. The black paint on the extrusion is quite thin and scratches quite easily during the assembly. Most scratches won't be visible, but it's still annoying, and there's no silver option. Hard to adjust alone. Adjusting the TV or wheel by yourself can be tricky. My method was loosening bolts and using a mallet, but that can introduce more scratching. Overall, the Trak Racer TR80s offers excellent value for anyone looking to step into more professional sim racing setups. This rig will easily serve me for many years to come. While it has a few minor drawbacks, they're trivial compared to what you're getting for under $1,500. Perfect instructions, better plastics and scratch resistance would be nice, but at this price point, I'm more than happy. I'm giving the TR80s a strong 9 out of 10 for build quality and value. Now before I go, coming back to that question of the mistake in the instructions. If you said the labels for C and D screws contradict each other, you will be correct. The lower label D points to the front and back screws as well as side to side screws, while the zoom section indicates both screws should be the C bolt. Given they were the same and the only difference was length, I used the 4D screws I had for the front and back section, while using the C screws for the left and right. Now if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.